Okay, so before we get into the heart of this video, I just want to let you guys know that my Abu Garcia Xenon LTX finally came in today, and I may or may not have a KASTKING Kestrel Elite on its way to me. But either way, we're going to have a lot of bait finesse content coming up in the future. But the subject of this video is a pretty badass looking new reel coming out of Doyo, Korea. Now, for those of you who don't know who Doyo is one of the Korean companies that make fishing reels for several different brands of tackle like Abu Garcia, LEWS, Bass Pro Shops, and probably more that I'm not going to name right now. But if you're fishing any one of those brands, more than likely you are fishing a Doyo product. And the new reel that they are releasing is called the Coba Elite Platinum. And let me show you guys the promo video for this really awesome looking reel. Right there you can see that it is very Shimano Antares like in its shape, the silver paint job. And unfortunately I can't read Korean, but check out that braking system. It's called the Paramag system. If you take a look at it, it is basically a version of the Shimano FTB system, but it looks like it's static. And let's go back to this thing right here. Extreme Distance Casting 2-step line guide. So it looks like they have a line guide that has a big opening, and then it, I guess, funnels off into a smaller tunnel, and it looks like it's going to be a 6.8 gear ratio amongst several that you have to choose from. Some sick looking aluminum knobs that look uncomfortable. It's going to have a clicking drag. It's going to have the thumb bar with the rubber grip, the line indicator on the spool tension, the hook keeper. A lot of you guys may be familiar with these features. It's going to have a 32mm spool, and if you live in South Korea, you're going to have the option of the deep, the medium, and the shallow spool. Carbon fiber handle, of course. Coba Elite Platinum. So a very sick looking reel from Doyo, and let's go over another video on it where you can see some guy fishing it. It looks so much like a Shimano Antares right there, and it looks like the carbon fiber handle is silver, but here he's pulling the spool out. Well, he's casting it actually, and I can't read Korean, but since he's a member of the pro staff, I'm sure he's saying a bunch of good things about it. Alright, let's see if we can get into some more detail about the specs and the tech on this reel. Comes in that nice box. Looks pretty small. But that looks so much like a Shimano Antares. Look at that. That looks badass right there. I don't know how I feel about that silver carbon handle though. Now these knobs look really good, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be heavy because they're all metal. Check out that side plate with the brake adjustment. This reel looks like it's gonna palm really comfortably. I don't see any kind of sharp edges. The brake dial is tucked neatly into the side plate. Okay, so he's gonna hopefully pull the spool out. Now look at the spool there. There's the FGB style magnets. So that is definitely not the standard mag track system. I don't think it's dynamic though. I think it is static still. But the braking force is going to be applied to the rim of the spool and not to a plate that's attached to the spool, so maybe that will aid in casting distance. But yeah, you can see the spool there. It's been shaped so these magnets interact with this portion right here, and since it is 32 millimeters, I'm sure it's going to be really light. So while this still is a static magnetic system, and it is kind of copying Shimano's FTB in the fact that they're applying the magnets to the rim of the spool, I think it's still a good, I guess, step forward. At least they're trying to do something different with the magnetic systems, because over in Korea, I mean, the static typical mag track system just pretty much dominates 90% of the reels that come out of Korea. Okay, I guess he's going to be doing some distance casting. He's got a frog on there, and it looks like he's setting the spool tension to where the side to side play is minimized, and that didn't look too impressive, but maybe it was on max braking. In case you're wondering, the lure weighs 18 grams or about 5/8 of an ounce. And I guess he's trying to demonstrate that you can cast thumb free, but I mean, you can set up any reel to do that if you tighten the spool tension enough. Alright, so he's at 8 to 9 on the brake setting. I want to see him dial it down as low as he can go. Try to really bomb this frog out. Looks like he casted a lot of the line off. So now he's on setting 3. Now we're getting to the good stuff, where it says 3.5. So let's see what happens now. Well, maybe they won't show us. Now this is disappointing because they're not showing us where this frog lands, but he is pulling out a line counter. It says 40 meters, which is honestly not impressive for a lure that heavy. So he's messing with the spool tension. $43 millimeters, I'm sorry, 43 meters for whatever lure he was throwing. Let's back up and see if we can watch that cast. Oh, did he cast it already? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I mean, that was okay. Nothing to write home about, nothing to make a whole video about. Now the great thing about Shimano, when they're showing you the casting distance, they'll show you where their lure lands, and of course a lot of times they'll take it out to a field and actually measure the casts. So that went 43.2 meters according to the line counter. Alright, so let me know what you guys think of this reel. Now I'm going to go over to the DAIWA Korea website, show you guys some more pictures of it. Definitely looks like an Antares, and here are some of the features. Here's that Paramag braking system. Here's the line guide, which has a patent. And it's gonna have aluminum frame and titanium coating cover. The spool's gonna be machined to let you hide your line knot. And of course, if you live in South Korea, you're gonna have the option of 3 different spools. Here are those cool looking knobs. And a bunch of redundant pictures of the reel. I guess you can outfit it with some real big power style cranks. Yeah, so I mean, reel customization straight from the factory in Korea is definitely next level. Something I hope we can eventually do over here. But yeah, this is the DAIWA Coba Elite Platinum. And the reason I'm showing you this reel, even though it's a Korean domestic market reel, is that iCast is coming up pretty soon, in a couple of weeks I think, and I would not be surprised at all if LEWS came out with a brand new reel, which is going to be basically this reel rebranded to, I guess, whatever speed spool or whatever moniker they want to attach to it. Because all the LEWS reels are basically DAIWA reels, just rebadged to LEWS, you know, and change a couple of things here and there, but they use the same frames, same brakes, pretty much the same everything. So if LEWS does decide to unveil their version of this reel at iCast, I may be tempted into getting one, because I really like the looks of this reel. But there we go, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. iCast is coming up soon, like I said, and I will be going over all the interesting tackle releases this year, and of course sharing it with you guys. Alright guys, thanks a lot.